Hey, what is going on, everyone? As always, it is fantastic to see you again. Today, I have another lesson about a common English mistake. We are going to talk about did you and have you. Did you go to the store or have you gone to the store? When you use questions that involve did you and have you, sometimes both of them are correct, sometimes only one is correct. Today, I'm going to teach you when you want to use each of these so you can ask questions correctly and confidently. Let's get started. First of all, both of these need another verb in the sentence. When you are asking a question that starts with did you or starts with have you have to have a second verb. If you use did you should use a present tense verb like these two examples. Did you finish the homework? Did you write that down? If you use have you need to use a past participle verb. Have you finished the homework? Have you written that down? Okay, now let's talk about when you should use did you. Use did you for actions that already happened and happened during a specific time. So for example, let's pretend that I just returned from a trip to the United States and you ask, did you visit New York City? Here, the time is specific. You are asking about if I visited during my trip. You also want to use did you if you're talking about a situation or action that only happens once or only happens during a specific time. For example, during the World Cup, you might say, did you watch the match between France and Brazil? This is something that only happens once, and you can only experience it or do it during a specific time. So here you should use did you. Conversely, you should use have you for actions that can be done at any time or many, many different times. For example, have you eaten sushi before? Unlike our last example, this is something that you can do at any time. Use have you for actions where the time of when this action happened is not important. You are just asking if this thing has ever happened. Earlier, I gave the example, did you visit New York City? Here, I'm talking about a specific time during your trip to the United States. But if I say, have you visited New York City? I am just asking if at any time you have been to New York City. So when you use have you plus an action, it's like saying, at this present moment, is this action completed? The time when it happened is not important. Have you finished your homework? It's not important when you finished it. I'm just asking yes or no. Have you finished your homework? You can add the word ever to show that you're talking about someone's entire life. You don't have to add it, but it can help make your sentence more clear. So that last example, have you finished your homework? I'm probably talking about a specific homework assignment. But if I say, have you ever finished your homework? This would be for your whole life. Maybe you're a bad student and I'm asking if you have ever just once finished your homework. So have you ever will always be about someone's entire life. Okay, remember earlier how I said that sometimes both did you and have you work? This is true if the action is specific, but the time is not important. For example, I could say, did you finish reading the Harry Potter book? Or, have you finished reading the Harry Potter book? Both of these are okay. But if the action is not specific and the time is not important, you should use have. Have you been to Canada? Most of the time, this will be when you're talking about someone's entire life. And then finally, if the action is specific and the time is important, you must use did. Did you hurt your leg at the soccer game? Here I'm talking about a specific situation and specific time. Okay, now it's your turn. Add did you or have you, and then create the correct verb form for each of these 6 sentences. Okay, here are your answers. Did you go to the store earlier today? Here, you have to use did you because you're talking about a specific time period. The time is important. I'm asking about earlier today. Have you ever seen the ocean? This is about your entire life. Did you have fun on your trip? Here, I'm talking about a specific time during your trip, so I should use did you. Did you watch the last NBA Finals game? Here, this is a situation that only happens one time. So you should use did you watch because you can only do this at a specific time. Did you play the guitar in high school? I'm talking about a specific time when you were in high school. The last one. Have you tried the cake John brought to work? Or did you try the cake John brought to work? Are both correct. So to summarize, you should use present verbs with did and always use past participle verbs with have. If you're asking about a specific time and action, you want to use did, and if you're asking about someone's entire life, you should use have. You can use have you ever to make your question more clear that you're asking about someone's whole life. Okay, here's a bonus tip. Today, all the examples we used have the subject you, but if your subject is another word, you might need to change have to has depending on the situation. Have you seen the new Marvel movie? Has he seen the new Marvel movie? Here, when we use he, you should use the singular verb has. If that's a little bit confusing, you should watch my video about subject-verb agreement. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you guys understand how to use these two correctly now. If you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. Keep studying hard, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Later.